Hey everyone, it's Types, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the most hated Pokemon TCG sets in recent years. That's Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike's a bit of a controversial set because people say it's bad for the meta game. It's a very strange set. It's a large set. There are let's see, there's over 200 cards. There's over 250 cards in the set, which is pretty big. And obviously, generally, when you think of a big set, you'd think it's like a good set. It's a main set, but because it was the last set of the year of what year is this? Was this 21? Yeah. So the uh, last expansion of 2021, it was bad because when usually the last set of the year they pushed back a lot of cards, so it ended up being like a lot of really bad cards. So that means actually when you're opening packs, you get bad pull rates. But the set itself wasn't exactly bad. Can I fit all these cards on one page? I don't. I think I can. So that means that your pull rates are bad, except there's some really good stuff. And notably, so it's Fusion Strike. It introduced the Fusion Strike mechanic. Bro, Limitless, why are your ads so big? What is this? Okay. So then you got like Mellow Ad. This is the UV Max set, right? So I wanted to take a look and see how bad is it actually. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of filler stuff, which is whatever. But then I want to look at the stuff that's interesting, but not necessarily bad. The stuff that's like balanced. It can be like rogue and kind of meme decks um to solid but not broken decks. So UV Max is kind of broken, which is bad. And the fusion strike mechanic as a whole, we'll also look at that because it's not great. Let's just say in terms of balance. First of all, though, we got Butterfree. When you evolve into this, it burns, confuses, and poisons. That being said, let's see. There's a Metapod from Rebel Clash, and there's a Caterpie with the same ability that says that you can evolve the first time you play it. That has since rotated, but when it came out, it was kind of interesting. It was a nice buff to the well, I don't know if it's a buff, but it's a nice change to the Salazzle Weeping Bell deck, which was kind of cool. Now it's not really a buff. Obviously, we see Breloom, Simisage is filler. Leavanny is an interesting card. Heal all damage from each of your bench Pokemon, and then you like hit and run. But obviously, hit and run stage two. Healing is, I mean, it's like not exactly hit and run either. It's because it doesn't hit, it runs and it heals. It's kind of interesting card, but. And Breloom V also, it's a counter Pokemon, so if it was damaged by an attack during your opponent's last turn, it does that much more damage. But it's awkward because it's probably just gonna get one shot. So you see, like the card design isn't great. We see Maractus. Maractus is a really fun card and probably one of my favorite cards from this set. Ditch and Shake, Grass Colorless. Discard any number of Pokemon tool cards from your hand. The stack is 50 more for each card discarded in this way. I think I talked about this on the podcast, or I will be talking about this on the podcast. I really don't know when this video is coming out. Yeah, it's probably coming out. So I'll probably be talking about this card on the podcast tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I also made a video about it. And Uncommon Fossil also made a video about it. We've been playing the deck. It's a fun deck. But yeah, Maractus is a well-designed card. It's not broken. It's kind of bad, but it's it's like it's a card certainly. It's like a well-designed card. I think it's the first well-designed card we've seen so far. We also see Excelgor, 120 for one grass, and if you swing to the active, well, if you swing to the active, it's one grass, which is okay. It's not amazing, but it's a thing. Keep in mind, when this came out, this was not looked at as very good. Arguably, it's still not very good, but it does hit Charizard EX for weakness, which is a thing. Um, that being said, it's generally outclassed by the like Fusion Strike stuff. The Fusion Strike package is very strong. Excelgor is not that strong. Again, we got a lot of filler cards. It's not very good. We got Serena V, which I guess I'll talk about. Queen's Orders, 20, and then discarding into our bench Pokemon, just 40 more for each bench Pokemon discarded in this way. This is theoretically a grass tech option in a V-Box deck, which was realized through both Aurora Energy and Luminous Energy. You got Jirachi V and Melanie, but I mean, you have to discard your own bench Pokemon, which is awkward. This is actually very good expanded, but expanded has essentially been dropped, or at least full expanded. And and the Sun and Moon Ox Bandit, which is a pretty cool format. In all honesty, has also kind of been uh, it hasn't received too much support either. So in standard, it's not great. It's outclassed by Shaman V, unfortunately, but it's not a garbage card design. Rillaboom here is not interesting, unfortunately. This is just a bad view. Same thing with Appleton. So Appleton, and there are a bunch more like the Cinderace. They're just generic cards that aren't like very good at all, and they're just like stacked. Sorry, they're just kind of stacked into the set. Same thing. Yeah, so like Rillaboom, Appleton, Chandler, not Chandler. Chandler's alright, but Cinderace, this other Cinderace is just not good. So they got like the Cinderace and the Rillaboom are not good. The Inteleon is good, which I'll talk about, and I think that's a really well designed card. But yeah, this Ninetales is kind of interesting. The recruit cost of and all your Pokemon that have Fire Energy attached is two less, which is it's all right. It's not good because actually it's okay. You could play it in Armors, which would come out much later. Got one of my favorite Pokemon, Slugma. Unfortunately, not getting a good card here though. But then we do have let's see. So you have what's this Victini? Oh yeah, no, that's not very good. I'm just checking around. Semisphere, fun card, not a very good card. Oops. Heatmore, this one's interesting. Also, I'll mention Oricorio. It's probably the most balanced Fusion Strike Pokemon, as it does damage reduction, its ability, and then its attack here is like a ping-based attack. It's a pretty bad attack, but I think the card's a cool card. And then we got Heatmore here, bro. And then its attack here, Exciting Flame 90, but if it has 6 energy, it does 180 as well to the bench. Kind of like, is it Tag Bolt, I think? Which is an okay attack. I mean, it was a good attack, I guess. On Pikarom, it's not great on Heatmore, but you can use certain fun tricks to get it big. It's not like a broken card by any means, though. And then we got like multiple Sentis Squishes. Some very weird stuff happens. We got like multiple Cinderaces, multiple Sentis Squishes. This set's kind of a mess. This Cloister, Starmie, Lapras are all Rapid Strike cards, and they're all right. They're pretty good in GLC and Standard. They're not good. Stormy's interesting though. Actually, Lapras it's a 100 snipe, which isn't usable. It's not great, but it's usable. Starmie is discard any amount of water energy from this Pokemon, and then you do 30 to them any way you like for each water discarded, which is alright. But not particularly good. We got this Feraligatr, which is just bad. There's a Toxtricity, just like it. Um, that's not. Actually, no. Is it just like it? No, there's a Toxtricity that was different, but this Feraligatr is bad. It's like a mill on a coin flip on a stage two, which is not good. On play on a stage two. So what we do have here though is the Let's All Roll Out deck. This is a bit of an interesting, like, silly meme deck. Is it good? No, it's really bad. Which is it's bad. So, unfortunately, the Smearl, it's Jigglypuff. There are a few Pokemon like it. It's not good though. It has bad type coverage. It has bad damage output. It's just not good. We do have this Azumarill, which is actually a control card, which I've messed around with some, but it's not as good as I would have liked it to be. Next up, you have Swampert. Swampert's an accelerate energy acceleration card, but it's one water or one fighting, which is really limited, unfortunately. Its an attack here also is not good. You do have this Huntail and Gorbis, though. These are two of the more interesting single strike or fusion strike Pokemon. The only ones that can be really played outside of Fusion Strike basic deck. The one that stops Rapid Strike abilities, which was usable at a time it was actually important to control decks to stop Rapid Strike at Delion, and Huntail increasing attacks of single strike Pokemon, which is okay. Obviously, it's good against single strike decks, but it's not like broken because they can get around it. They can just accelerate more energies. The Basculin's also interesting as it allows you to kind of, it's a finisher. It's not a great finisher, but it is an option. So that's a card to keep in mind. That's kind of fun. Then Darmanitan, something as Bolt Hunt, is it allows you to like hit more if you have damage on you, but again, not too crazy. We do have some really fun cards here though in the water section. First of all, this Frostmoth is an option, Zoroark box, which is all right. You know, it's fun. But then we see excuse me, Crabominal V, Pikachu, and Talion VMAX. Three insanely cool cards. Crabominal V, first attack, mills 2. Second attack, does more for each damage count on your opponent. It's a very, very powerful finisher. You kind of set it up with some light pinging and then just obliterate your opponent. Very powerful there. Pikachu, a really interesting card. Probably one of the funniest cards we've seen in quite a while. Its ability here says it lets you put it from your hand on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card, which is all right, but not, it's not broken. So it's really unique. It's played in a few decks, kind of thins your deck. It does some interesting things. Has some interesting interactions. I'm a control player. Has interesting interaction with that, notably. But then, oh, bro, not the ads. Let's please fix your ad system. It used to be fine, but now it's kind of annoying. So in Talion VMAX here, its ability lets you ping water. You discard energy, you ping damage. It's kind of like Radiant Blastoise, but better. I mean, it seems more play than Radiant Blastoise. It's kind of silly comparison because if you don't know what this is, you probably don't know what Radiant Blastoise is. But yeah, it's a ping ability. It's attack here, nothing amazing, but it's kind of like it attacks and returns energy to your hand, and then it you can Cheryl as well. It has some cool synergy. So Italian VMAX is a pretty solid card, probably one of the best design cards in this set. Um, then we got this Electrode Tekken Zoroark box. Not a great Tekken Zoroark box, arguably a bad Tekken Zoroark box, but it's an option. This plus Lamina, kind of fun, silly attack, but great, not great attackers. We got this garbage Luxray, 90 for 2 on a stage 2. Like, what? I mean, it's not necessarily the worst. It's not good, but like, what? Why is this even a card? And then we got a bunch of other like filler stuff. I'm like looking at these. This is Vikefall. It was kind of funny, but only in Japan in that format because you compare it with this Charger Bug, but it rotated by the time it came out here in like the States and stuff. Bolton VMAX, meant to be paired with a really good Bolton V. You get lots of lightning energy in play and then hit hard. It's kind of fun, but not great. Um, Toxicity, reducing like uh VMAX HP. Honestly, it's a card that I thought was gonna be alright. It's a weird card. And when Vsauce came out, it was not a good card, but it's a card. And then we got Mew VMAX. You all know Mew VMAX. If you don't, it's broken. Granbull meant to be paired with Maractus. Granbull is not very good. Unless you recover some tools on play on Evolution, but it's not good. Glinker Sola, again, not great card. Mawile, again, not great. Like these are kind of fun cards that could make videos, but not great. Deoxys. Deoxys is actually a card you could play in other decks. It's a really interesting card, but it's generally just seen play very generically as a Fusion Strike attacker. Which isn't great. So yeah. Next up we got Meloetta again, another Fusion Strike attacker. And this Dreepy. Did you know this was a Fusion Strike attacker? Is it bad? Is it good? It's not great, but it's usable. It's used for trapping. It's really interesting. Alright, next up we got I'm trying to like look. This is Golem, but it's not that interesting. Same thing with Steelix. Okay, in GLC though, I believe. Hariyama, annoying toxic card, not a very good card. Most of these cards are bad. Gengar VMAX, iconic single strike attacker. Very good at the time, fell off pretty quickly since then. Occasionally came back. It's a card, yeah, is a good card. It's not particularly good, but it's a card. Then you got Glen Obstagoon, which is a fun one paired with a lot of stuff that rotated, but it's still a cool attacker. And let's see what else we got. Oh, this is a volatile, super boring. One of the like ultra boring cards that actually end up seeing play in Lugia. Not hype, but was decent. Next we got Genesect, obviously for Fusion Strike. And there've also been a bunch of Let's All Roll Out attackers I've skipped because But there has been this Melmetal, one of my favorite cards from the set. Bro, ads, please get out of here. Melmetal insane attacker because it's an ability walling attacker in Zoroark box. It's probably my favorite Zoroark box attacker. Miss Magus I like a lot as well, but Metal is very, very fun. So yeah, it's a pretty good card. Latias, cool cards, but just outclassed. Let's see what else we got. Dunsparce. Oh yeah, Dunsparce. I honestly forgot that that was in this set. Unfortunately, its amount of play has fallen off as it's just not been super useful. But there have been times when it's seen play. And then you got let's see. Oh, you could make a VMAX control deck as well. That's a thing. It's probably not a good thing, but it's a thing. There's this Greed and VMAX, which takes extra prizes. Cool card, not a great card. And then you get the notorious Battle VIP Pass. Probably one of the most hated cards ever. Arguably a bad card design as it's very swingy. It's powerful. It's not as good as people think. People like think it's insanely broken, and it's good, but it's not like that good. Like it's actually, I recently made a video where I talked about all the most played cards. Battle VIP Pass was on there, but it wasn't the first one. I was spoilers. It was behind Nest Ball, which is better. But Adventures Discovery, cool card, underplayed initially. Um, that's found a spot in a few decks, so pretty cool. Chromatic, cross switcher to some extent, and then Elisa Sparkle, uh, Power Tablet as well. All tool, and then obviously Fusion Strike Energy. All tools in Fusion Strike attack. This were kind of annoying to deal with. Chromatic, again, a swingy card. It wasn't actually as good as. Well, it's pretty good. When you flip hazards, it's pretty good. But yeah, it just gets kind of annoying. I've got like Dancer and Sonic Caress, and these cards are just kind of like not great. Even Schoolgirl's okay, but not great. Um, so like you got, and Scare Spike's actually a cool card as well, but a lot of these cards are just pretty underwhelming. So, oh, and then I should probably mention Hoopa V. That's a card here too. But overall, I think this set gets maybe a little more hate than it deserves. Sure, there's a lot of filler, but there are some cool decks, and looking back, I think it's all right. I think people hating it a little too much, but I'm interested in hearing what you have to think. If you enjoy the style of video, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always do it and all that good stuff. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'm excited to see you in the next video.